Hi, my name is Julianne, and it has been like, what, 5 years since my last video? More like 2 months. I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow, now I'll just do it tomorrow, and then now it's March. Basically, I've wanted to do like a bunch of reviews. I still need to do my Magnus Chase review, and that book came out in October, so it's still relevant, kind of. There's movies I want to talk about, other books I want to talk about, you know, there's a bunch of stuff. But because like I just want to like get back into YouTube and just like finally put out another video, because it's been like 5 years, it feels like. This is just gonna be like a quick book tag, you know, just gonna do a quick video and then try to like actually get some reviews out, talk about my book that is coming out called My Life as a Teenage Vampire. Really excited for it. So this book tag, if you couldn't tell from the title, is the coffee book tag. I just needed a quick book tag, so I looked it up and this is one of the first ones I saw, so I'm gonna do that. Also, I like coffee, so I mean, it's perfect. First question is black. So like black coffee. Name a series that's tough to get into, but has hardcore fans. The Mortal Instruments series. I still don't like the series. I have one more book left. The City of Heavenly Fire. The City of Bones took me like a legit month to get through. It does get better, but it's still not that good of a series, in my opinion. Like, I know it's such a good, like, it has such a big fan base, like, that's why it goes with this, is because, one, I can't really get into it, but there are a lot of fans for it, and like, it's a big thing on YouTube that, like, obviously if you've been on BookTube for a little bit, like, you can tell. I don't discredit the people who like it. I can see why. I just personally, like, hate every character except for Simon and Magnus. That's my long-winded answer to that question. The second question is Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive time of year. My answer would be Let It Snow by John Green, Lauren Miracle, and Maureen Johnson. Love that book. I read it every year except for last year because, you know, why not break tradition? But I have, like, every like Christmas I like to read it. It's a good like a winter book in my opinion because it takes place during Christmas. So, hot chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? I wonder what my favorite children's book is. Like, if anyone knows me, you know exactly which one I'm about to say. And that is obviously Percy Jackson, because, like, I'm utter trash for that series. I love it. You know, I read Rick Riordan books the day they come out. I usually start them in line. I love Percy Jackson so much. If you haven't read Percy Jackson yet, you need to get on it. I know there's like 20 books now, but I recommend checking them out. Hi. I'm trying to record a video.
I need her to go somewhere. Go.
Bella, go away.
Look, Bella, it's Julianne.
Cool.
Good girl.
Okay, we'll have a guest. Hi, Bella. Don't eat that.
Bye, Julianne.
Bye.
Don't die.
Okay. The fourth question is double shot of espresso. Name a book that kept you on edge of your seat from start to finish. I don't know if I'm naming this book because Genesis just came out and I'm so hyped, like I forgot it was coming out. But the first book, Nemesis, oh my god, was amazing. So Nemesis is like, it's this girl who dies every 2 years on her birthday, and she's trying to figure out why, who's killing her, like, what's the motive behind this, is she the only person that this is happening to, and then it escalates. And the ending, it was awesome. And I cannot wait to get into Genesis. This next one, the fifth one, I like this one. Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. Well, lately, every time I go anywhere, this book just gets shoved into my face. And I'm like, I own it, I need to read it. The movie is out. That's somewhat of a pun, you'll understand in a moment. And like, I just need to read this book so I can watch the movie. And it is Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda. I really need to read this book. And because the movie came out, I see it everywhere and I need to read it because I do own it. Just haven't gotten into it yet. somebody was walking outside. Oh my god, they have a dog, that's so cute. Okay, let's get back into this video about books, not dogs. So here is the 6th question. I have one hand right now. That hipster coffee shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. I'm gonna give a little shout out to Liz McBride. She is an amazing author. She is me as a writer, I swear, it's really weird. So my book is called My Life as a Teenage Vampire, play off of My Life as a Teenage Robot. As I was writing that book, I go to the library and I discover a book called Hold Me Closer, Necromancer, play off of Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer. And so I start reading this book, and I swear the main character, Sam, is literally my main character, Jacob. And I was just like, this is so weird and surreal to read this book that's basically my book. I mean, in like style and tone, it's not exactly the same, although it is supernatural. But the main character, Sam, is a necromancer, or like he finds out he's a necromancer. Crazy shit goes down in that series. Highly, highly recommend it. Anyways, Liz McBride, so great. The 7th question is, oops, wow, I cannot speak. Oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book you're expecting more from. Alright, the first book that comes to mind, by the way, the reason I keep saying the first thing that comes to mind is because none of this is scripted, and why are you whining? Bella, I need you here so I can show you off to the camera, and then everyone will want to watch my video. Okay, I'm gonna have to release my dog, I'm sorry. She does not want to be in here. So, the book that first comes to mind is Terminals. It was gonna be so good, I could feel it, you know. I started, I was like, this is amazing, this is so cool, and then it just got bad. I do explain it in some wrap-up from a while ago, I think from like last year. Anyway, so the Terminals, there's like these kids who have cancer and they're gonna die in a year, so like this secret agency people show up and they're like, hey, since you're gonna die, don't you just want to like go out in a bang, do some spy work for us? And then, you know, logically you're like, yeah, sure, why not? So this kid does that, things get interesting, and then it gets bad. Like, I tried to do spoiler warnings before about this, but I'm just gonna spoil you because it's not good. So basically, if I'm reading a book and the girl dies and the guy doesn't, I don't see that as like sexist or anything, but when I see every female character dying but none of the guys dying, it's a little weird and suspicious to me. And the only girl who survives is the love interest. Just that whole thing put me off. Like, yeah, okay, when the first female died, I was like, okay, whatever. But like, I swear, every female character died, but none of the guys did, or maybe a couple, I don't really remember too much. Not saying the author is sexist, maybe he didn't realize what he was doing, but it rubbed me the wrong way. So that's why I'm not continuing the Terminals. So, the 8th and final question is the perfect blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. I don't have a book for this. Why can't I think of a single book series? What books do I own? You know what? I'll go with this one. It's less on the bitter, less on the sweet, but it was satisfying to read. It was Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Yeah, this book was so good. This is one that I do need to review as well. It came out in October, and I just finally read it, so good on me. Always relevant, on top of all of the books. I used to be on top of the books. Now I just buy them and then wait like 5 months to read them. This book was just so good. It's like faces a lot of like hard things. Like the character has OCD and like has to deal with all these like really bad like thought spirals. So it's like really like hard to read some parts because it's just like really sad. And I kind of understand some of the stuff the character goes through. Like I don't have OCD personally, but like there are definitely moments where like I really do relate with her, and like I understand like some of the stuff she was going through. And oh my god, there's so many good lines that I read and was just like, thank you to John Green for writing them. Oh, by the way, it is the best John Green book he's ever written, so there's that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is my favorite John Green book. I love it so much, and I started tearing up at the end, but it was really satisfying to read, and it's just so good. And now I know what a Taratua is, or however you pronounce it. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. Like if you follow Rick Riordan, if you follow John Green through his through Vlogbrothers or through like the podcast, there's a lot of lines that was written where I'm like, oh yeah, this was talked about in the podcast, or this is something he was, like, a theme he was, like, talking about at some point. I just think it's interesting to, like, see kind of where all of the stuff in the book came from. And it just, the characters are relatable. It just really, really spoke to me. And I really love Turtles All the Way Down. It's so good, and it's one of my favorite books now. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.